6:45, this is the Sri Lanka Broadcasting Corporation. The news edited by J. Yogaraj and read by Lavani Vijayatunga. First, we take a look at the headlines. The President requests all stakeholders to join hands to establish a national food security work plan with the sole objective of making the country self-sufficient in essential food crops next year. Minister Mahinda Amaravira says that all bare lands which are not cultivated may be taken on lease by the government next year for cultivation purpose. Minister of Law and Order instructs the IGP to use the maximum power to prevent the drug menace and unlawful killings in the country. The police is ready to play a greater role in controlling the hardcore ragging menace in the universities if the ragging disturbs the education activities of the university students. The UNICEF and the Rotary donate over 47 billion rupees worth of medicines. Livestock deaths beat transportation permitted from all areas except for the northern province. In news overseas, Malaysia landslide, at least 21 campers dead and more missing. And in sports news, Club World Cup, FIFA to stage 32-team tournament from June 2025. Those were the headlines, and now move on to the details of the local news. President Ranil Wickremesinghe requests all stakeholders to join hands to establish a national food security work plan with the sole objective of making the country self-sufficient in essential food crops next year. A joint mechanism should be formed by the government and the private sector in promoting local food production and create storage facilities to keep the excess production in food crops. The President also emphasized the importance of establishing an uninterrupted supply chain as well. The Rotary Club has also rendered a yeoman service to the country. Therefore, the club could also engage in food security program to help the country and the government, the President added. President Ranil Wickremesinghe made these remarks at a function organized by the Rotary Club. Minister Mahinda Amaravira said that all bare lands which are not cultivated may be taken on lease by the government next year for the cultivation purpose. The youth of the local areas will be deployed to promote cultivation in those areas. The government plans to cultivate each inch of land which are not used for any other purpose. The minister said that the special work plan is implemented by the President to expedite this process. It is estimated that there are around 100,000 hectares of paddy lands available in the country. The government plans to make maximum use of these lands to increase the production of food crops, the minister added. A consignment of medicines worth over 47 billion rupees was received by the Minister of Health, Kelly Rabukwala, yesterday as a donation from the United Nations Children's Fund and the Rotary. The stock was handed over to Minister Rabukwala by Rotary International President Jennifer Jones and the UNICEF representative for Sri Lanka, Christian Skoog, under the Lifeline project to help the delivery of health services at a time when the country is facing shortages owing to the ongoing economic crisis. The medicines valued at $130,000 were urgently procured by the UNICEF with funds raised by Rotary's global network and alumni on the online donation platform. This is the news from the Sri Lanka Broadcasting Corporation. And we continue with more local news. As the Department of Animal Production and Health confirmed that the recent livestock deaths in the northern and the eastern provinces were not caused by any epidemic, meat transportation has been approved from all other areas except the northern province, the President's Media Division says. Following an investigation carried out by the Animal Production and the Health Department in Peradeniya, it was revealed that the deaths of cattle and goats were in fact due to the shock induced by the severe cold weather conditions. A report on the matter was handed over to Mahinda Amaravira, the Minister of Agriculture, Wildlife and Forest Resources Conservation on 30th December by the department, thus ruling out concerns that the deaths were a start of a new epidemic. More than 690 cattle died in the northern province, while a total number of goats died in the northern province climbed over 290 as a result of the recent adverse weather conditions. Minister of Law and Order Tiran Alice has instructed the IGP to use maximum power to prevent the drug menace and unlawful killings in the country. A meeting was held today under the patronage of the minister to find out the progress of the ongoing investigations on drug trafficking and underworld killings. IGP and other senior police officers attended the meeting. Addressing the audience, the minister emphasized the importance of establishing a law-abiding, disciplined society. The minister also said all police officers should work hard to trace and eliminate the criminal activities in the country. And to end the local news, the headlines once again. The President requests all stakeholders to join hands to establish a national food security work plan with the sole objective of making the country self-sufficient in essential food crops next year. Minister Mahinda Amaravira says that all bare lands which are not cultivated may be taken on lease by the government next year for the cultivation purpose. Minister of Law and Order instructed the IGP to use maximum power to prevent the drug menace and unlawful killings in the country. The police is ready to play a greater role in controlling the hardcore ragging menace in the universities if the ragging disturbs the education activities of the university students. UNICEF and the Rotary donate over 47 billion worth of medicines. Livestock deaths, meat transportation, permitted in all areas except from the northern province. And that was the local news.
The main news story is brought to you by Siddhalepa Vedamahatmya.
The main news story for tonight, the police media spokesman SSP Nihal Thalduwa said that the police is ready to play a greater role in controlling the hardcore ragging menace in the universities if the ragging disturbs the education activities of the university students. The police media spokesman made these remarks at a media conference held in Colombo today. The police is committed to create a conducive environment for educational activities in the universities. The affected students could call 118 or 119 for police assistance, the police spokesman further added. And that was the main news story.
The main news story was brought to you by Siddhalepa Vedamahatmya.
Watch Live is brought to you by
Let's celebrate Christmas and New Year with CIB with special gifts, discounts and easy payment schemes available till 31st of December. Come to CIB today.
And in Watch Live, the Consumer Affairs Authority says that continuous raids will be carried out in search of traders who sell exercise books, stationeries and other school equipment by modifying the existing prices. According to the information uncovered by the CAA, exercise books and other school equipment are being sold at higher rates than the existing prices by modifying the price ranges displayed on them. Further, the CAA emphasized that legal action has been taken against traders who sold school equipment and exercise books at higher rates, and the products which are on display, the prices were modified but taken into custody during the raids. The raids were initiated in consideration of the difficulties faced by the general public as a result of such fraudulent activities, the CAA said further. And that came to you in Watch Light.
Let's celebrate Christmas and New Year with CIB with special gifts, discounts and easy payment schemes available till 31st of December. Come to CIB today.
World News brought to you by courtesy of
We give you the strength to rise higher and higher.
Never step back, but always march forward.
Empowering you to reach greater heights. People's Leasing, the trusted leader.
Headlines of the world news. Malaysia landslide, at least 12 campers dead and more missing. Berlin's Great Aquadome Hotel Aquarium containing 1,500 fish explodes. Japan's defense, China threat prompts plan to double military spending. Those are the headlines, and now we move on to the details of the world news. At least 21 people, including children, have been killed after a landslide hit a holiday campsite in Malaysia's Selangor state. Families were sleeping in their tents when the landslide happened around 3 a.m. today at a farm stay in Batang Kali Township. Hundreds of rescuers spent today digging through the mud to find survivors. The farm's managers said that at least 30 children and 51 adults were registered for an overnight stay. A giant aquarium containing billions of liters of water in the lobby of the Radisson Blu in Berlin has burst, flooding the hotel and the nearby streets. Aquadome, home to 1,500 tropical fish, is 50.85 meters high and was described as the largest freestanding cylindrical aquarium in the world. 2 people were injured by the falling glass after the blast. Japan has announced it will double its military spending in the next 5 years, citing regional threats posed by China and North Korea. It will also acquire the ability to strike enemy bases. The changes mark the most dramatic overhaul to Japan's security strategy since it adopted a pacifist constitution after the Second World War. Under the plan, Tokyo will buy U.S. long-range missiles capable of destroying enemy launch sites if it is attacked. And that was the world news.
World News. Brought to you by courtesy of...
Amidst all challenges, we will rally around you and advance.
In the face of hardships, let's stand strong together.
Empowering you to reach greater heights. People's Leasing, the trusted leader.
Development News.
In development news, creating world aviation history, Sri Lankan Airlines received an international award for their upcycle waste management project, Mathaka. Project Mathaka won the prestigious Best Aviation Sustainability Program Award at the Sheikh Mohammed bin Rashid Al Maktoum Global Aviation Awards, beating out 118 other submissions. Sri Lankan Airlines captain Anushad Liadagoda said that the airline spends around 500,000 rupees of waste disposal. With this project, we are able to save this amount. And that was the development news. And from development news, let's move on to sports news. In soccer, FIFA will stage an expanded Club World Cup featuring 32 men's teams from June 2025, says its president Gianni Infantino. Football's world's governing body also hopes to introduce a women's version with both held every 4 years. World Series friendly tournaments will be played between nations of different confederations are also planned. The best teams in the world will be invited to participate, Infantino said of the World Cup club. And still on sports news, in cricket news, leg spinner Rehan Ahmed will become the youngest man to play Test cricket for England after being handed out a debut in the third Test against Pakistan. The 18-year-old breaks the record of legendary Yorkshire batsman Brian Close, which has stood since the year 1949. Ahmed and wicketkeeper Ben Foakes came into the world side in Karachi in place of pace bowler James Anderson and all-rounder Vic Jacks. That was the sports news. Business news coming up.
The fastest way to earn the highest interest. An interest rate of 22% in 4 months. NSB, the safest place for your money.
Business News. Sponsored by National Savings Bank. The safest place for your money.
Yak Dog Industries Company Limited, one of the 10 leading companies in Korea, has invested $50 million in the establishment of a large-scale container manufacturing factory in Trikabali. The chairman, Hyung Senok Wong, and the vice chairman, Kyung Wong Shin of Yak Dog Industries Company Limited met with Prime Minister Dinesh Gunawardena at the Prime Minister's office recently and assured that the constructions of the factory will be completed soon so as to commence production within the next 6 months. That was the business news. Economic news follows.
Business News. Sponsored by National Savings Bank. The safest place for your money.
The fastest way to earn the highest interest. An interest rate of 22% in 4 months. NSB, the safest place for your money.
Economic News, courtesy of
LONC Finance is taking the power of innovation to the next level, winning 5 golds at the Technovation Awards 2022, leading the digital revolution with cutting-edge interbanking digital payments. LONC Finance claims the overall gold award, whilst also claiming an extraordinary victory in digital banking.
In economic news, the macroeconomic policy and financing development section of the United Nations ESCAP has confirmed that the current support given to Sri Lanka for the development of innovative financing capacity in order to achieve sustainable development goals will be continued, said State Minister of Finance Shahan Semasinghe. The State Minister said this after a discussion held at the Ministry of Finance, Economic Stabilization and National Policy recently with the delegation of the United Nations ESCAP Macroeconomic Policy and Financing Development Division. That was economic news, and then with the report to conclude.
LOLC Finance is taking the power of innovation to the next level, winning 5 golds at the Technovation Awards 2022, leading the digital revolution with cutting-edge interbanking digital payments. LOLC Finance claims the overall gold award, whilst also claiming an extraordinary victory in digital banking. LOLC Finance will continue to innovate with the next generation digitalization of financial services, delivering a superior customer experience.
Weather report.
And finally, the weather report. The Met Department says showery condition is expected to enhance in the northern, north central and eastern provinces of the island in the next few days, commencing from the 17th. Showers will occur at times in the eastern and Ua provinces and in the Polonnaruwa, Mathale and Hambantota districts. Showers or thunder showers will occur at a few places in the western and Sabaragamu provinces and in the Gaul and Mathare districts during the afternoon or night. This weather report was published this evening at 7:30 p.m. Further details could be obtained by visiting the official website of the department. Meanwhile, the International Weather Forecast website, AccuWeather.com, reports that the day's weather was cloudy. Today's daytime temperature was observed to be around 28 degrees Celsius. Tonight's temperature will be around 25 degrees Celsius and there will be scattered showers in selected spots late in the night. The ground temperature would be 27 degrees Celsius at the time of this news broadcast. The air quality index is 31. The air quality is generally acceptable to most individuals. However, sensitive groups may experience minor to moderate symptoms from long-term exposure. And before we conclude this bulletin, let's get back to the headlines once again. The President requests all stakeholders to join hands to establish a national food security work plan with the sole objective of making the country self-sufficient in essential food crops next year. Minister Mahinda Amaravira says that all bare lands which are not cultivated will be taken on lease by the government next year for cultivation purpose. Minister of Law and Order instructs the IGP to use maximum power to prevent drug menace and unlawful killings in the country. The police is ready to play a greater role in controlling the hardcore ragging menace in the universities if the ragging disturbs the education activities of the university students. The UNICEF and the Rotary donate over 47 million rupees worth of medicines. Livestock deaths meet transportation permitted from all areas except the northern province. In news overseas, Malaysian landslide, at least 21 campers dead and more missing. And in sports news, World Cup, FIFA to stage 32-team tournament from June 2025. And with that, we conclude this bulletin of news.